Hello. Did I unmute myself? Okay, I did. Hello. How are you all doing? What is up, Andy, Goblet, Augustus, Pop Tart? How are you all? So today, what's up, Sebco? Today is time for me to vote for the Game Awards. So obviously, I had to get all dressed up. I'm not actually dressed up, but it looks kind of like I am. I'm actually just wearing a white t-shirt and pajamas with a blazer over it. But you know what? I have the appearance that I'm well dressed. You look good today. All it takes is a little blazer, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Dole, thank you for the 69 months. I appreciate it, brother. How you been? But yeah. So today, I will be voting for the Game Awards, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about video games and kind of go over everything that I played this year, see what you guys played this year, and then massively promote my own Game Awards, which if you're on YouTube is in the description, or if you're on Twitch, !GGA. Just saying, you know, voting closes today. Go vote now. Oh yeah, thank you, Doll. I don't know why it took forever to pop up. I feel like all my alerts are super delayed now, and for some reason bro looks drippy. You would not be saying the same right now if I stood up, dude. My fucking wang would just fall right down onto my microphone. That's not true. I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing pants, Twitch. I'm wearing pajamas. They're actually Christmas themed pajamas, by the way, which you're not going to be able to tell because they're green. But you know, it actually looks terrifying because of the green screen. But you know, listen, I got to stay comfy. Yeah, so I'll probably start by going through what I played this year and just kind of talk my thoughts about them, and then we'll go into the Game Awards and, you know, hopefully can spark a conversation, talk to you guys about video games. The Wang brings the outfit together. This is not true. He's lying. He never wears pants. Bro, you know the crazy thing is I love being clothed. I know that what a weird fucking thing to say. What the hell you got me saying on this stream, bro? I actually don't like I know a lot of dudes love sleeping naked. I'm not one of those guys. I like wearing like a thin shirt and some nice PJs. I don't really like sleeping naked. Sometimes, like one time, can I say that? One time when I was sleeping in my birthday suit, I woke up and it seemed like somebody had mangled the morning sausage, and I was like, what the fuck happened to my delicious sausage? Who dared mess with it? And I never. The hell? What was that? It sounded like the garage just opened. Did you hear that? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I feel too vulnerable if I sleep naked. Exactly. I don't like sleeping naked. my partner August just said, what if there's an emergency going on and I'm just fucking butt ass naked and my wee wee's just flipping all over the place? I need to be wearing clothes when I sleep. Same, dude. I need to be wearing clothes. I mean, I did that video where I filmed in the middle, not in the middle of a hurricane, but during a hurricane. I filmed a video with my shirt off because I'm a fucking lunatic. By the way, that video, if anyone even remembers it, one of my friends, because I'm just in boxer briefs in that video, one of my friends like photoshopped off my boxer briefs and then just gave me a massive penis, and I was like what the fuck was the point of this, man? The dog could scare off the robbers. He's too sweet. He's too nice. I only have one blanket. I'll be clinging for my life if I'm naked. Exactly, same. Dude, I love... Oh my god. Dude, when it's cold and you can just snuggle yourself in, it's so fucking comfortable. I love it. But let me go ahead and swap my scene. I do want to say I'm not going to be playing any music while I'm doing this. Like background music, so... And I'm just going to be talking pretty much this whole stream. So if you want to listen to like some music, go for it. The reason I'm not going to listen to any background music is because I'm probably going to take this and turn it into a video. Probably. Not 100% sure. So I have a bunch of tabs open here. Let me just make sure my mouse is connected to my computer. Okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of tabs. These are soundtracks up at the, oh, you can't see them. Well, I have game soundtracks up at the top, and those soundtracks are the ones that were nominated for best soundtrack, and we're gonna go through and listen to some of those songs. Even though, you know, I'm not gonna listen to the entire soundtrack for all of them. Just a little bit. Yo, what's up, Sam? How you doing, dude? Vote Super Mario Brothers 2. But before we start with the Game Awards stuff, well, I guess I could go through some of like the ones where like I don't really have much of an opinion on, right? And then I'll talk about this, which if you're interested, this is an app that I use online to track what games I played. Surely it won't be FF7R everything. I actually have a lot to say about a lot of this stuff. I feel like I might surprise a lot of people with like how I view things. Like obviously I loved 7 Rebirth, but I do have a lot to say about everything else and also 7 Rebirth itself. Hiya, hello. Dude, Sam, we love you. So yeah, this is every game I completed this year, but I'm not going to be, well, I'll talk about all of them, but obviously a lot of these did not come out in 2024. But let's go through some of like the simple ones because like, let's be real. I did not watch League of Legends, Counter-Strike, or Dota 2 this year, so I have no opinion on any of these, but Faker was my GOAT, so I'll vote Faker. Why not? Change my vote? That's so fucked up. Okay. I had to go backwards because for some reason when I opened it up on here, it went straight to Game of the Year, and I was like, who votes Game of the Year first and best esports team last? Like, that's just bizarre to me. So yeah, if FF7 Rebirth isn't your nomination for every single category, you're fake. I like that about you, Sam. I like that about you. Yeah, best esports team, Cloud Strife, leader of Red 13, leader of the soccer ball minigame. That's my GOAT. That's the best esports team. What's up, Jar Jar? How you doing, bro? Okay. It's always been Game of the Year first, though. I know, and I hate it. They always do that. All right, previous. What was the next one? Okay, another thing I don't care about. Faker, because that's my GOAT. Why not? Oh my god, wow, they really love their esports stuff. Mobile Legends Bang Bang. No way they don't have a single fighting game on here. I don't care about any of these games. Can you skip a category? You probably can't, right? All right, you know what? I trust you guys. What was the best esports game of this year? Faker did just win his 5th Worlds title. That's good enough for me. We're going League of Legends. Someone's gonna take this, by the way, and be like, I knew Pinoy watches League of Legends. I knew it. Content Creator of the Year. I literally don't know any of these people, except I found out who Queso was like 2 days ago, and then I know Pecora. Clipping as we speak. All right, I trust you guys. Who is the best content creator? You know something I hate about this content creator stuff? It's like always streamers and they never give any highlights to like true YouTubers. Pinoy Brothers 54, yeah. Obviously, I just did so much content this year, guys. Pecora, or I'm banning everyone. All right, we're going Pecora. That's my favorite VTuber. I love Pecora. Most anticipated game. All right, we'll wait on this. We'll wait on this. We'll go back here. We'll go back here later. I'm gonna go to this tab, and I think I have these in order of what I played this year. Something I really want to encourage people to do, because it's kind of fun. I've been doing this for a few years now. Here, like, I can pull up my profile. Where is it? Yeah, okay, so I started this in 2023, where I used this website to like keep track of what I played, and it's like, yo, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, huge shout out, massive game. And it's really nice. I kind of like going back and seeing what I played this year. Although I won't lie, wow, I barely played any games. I mean, this is like a lot for me, but most people, I feel like everyone I know completes like 30 to 40 games a year. Whereas like me, I like barely scratched 18. I am currently in a few playthroughs right now. Like, let me see. Playing. Yeah, I'm in the middle of playing Dragon Quest 3 on my Switch right now, and then these 3 I'm streaming. Or, you know, it's listen, it's been a while, but we'll get to them. Dragon Quest 3 remake has been really good though, I won't lie. Bro, I played less than you. Really? That's surprising. Okay, well, I'm not gonna have a lot to say about some of the games I've already played before, but you know, fuck it. I started the year playing Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and a lot of that was because last year I went through, let me go to 2023. I replayed the original Final Fantasy VII, and my intention was, oh, and Crisis Core. I played Crisis Core for the first time with the remake. I wanted to basically prepare myself for Rebirth, and going back to Remake, at least at the time, I wrote down my thoughts at the time for like a video, but I'm gonna try to just recall my thoughts off like the top of my head. I remember playing it again without, it's so weird because a lot of the times now I stream every game that I play that like I really care about. I stream it because I want to keep both my thoughts and my initial reactions documented for myself in the future, but also like my friends and you know, just really anybody. I don't know. I really enjoy looking back and kind of seeing how I felt, whether it was negative or positive, and seeing how I ended up at the end of it. So playing, this was my 4th time playing FF7 Remake. And it's funny because I cried more than I thought I would when I played it for the 4th time, because the initial time I played it was when I cried the most, and then 2nd and 3rd I didn't cry at all, and then with Remake on my 4th playthrough, I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, I guess it was kind of like the dawning of everything entering into my life with Rebirth, like finally coming out. This has been a long journey for me with Final Fantasy VII in general. I wish I could talk about everything, but I can't, specifically because I want to keep a lot of it for a video. But then another part of it is like, I would be talking spoilers for part 3, and I don't want to ruin the game for anybody. But Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. It's super important to me. And going into Remake, I was excited, but I was very worried because I wasn't 100% sure if they could knock it out the park. Because listen, even though I like a lot of modern Final Fantasy, they're not like banger games. They're just like good games, you know? And FF7 Remake gave me so much hope when I played it again, or when I played it initially. And every time I go back and play it again, I'm just like reminded, holy fuck, man, they actually pulled it off. And not only did they pull it off, but it's looking like they might tell something even better than initially, which I loved. I don't know. I love FF7 Remake. It's a great game. It definitely has more flaws now when I put it under a lens. You know, not the level design is very PS2. The level where there's like the claw hand is honestly bad. And the aerial combat is horseshit until you play the DLC, which, man, the DLC for FF7 Remake is so god tier. I love the Yuffie DLC. It's amazing. It's short. It's sweet. The combat is fantastic. I love the whole synergy thing they have with Sonon. Great fucking game. Metroid, oh yeah, I did play, I replayed Metroid Prime last year, the remastered version, and I like forgot how fucking, like, I was getting so lost. I was like, dude, I swear I didn't remember getting lost this much. Bro, really streamed the exact time I was busy. I'm so sorry, Alex. Only one of my friend group that didn't cry during P3R. I'll get to P3R. I'll get to it. I don't have like a crazy amount of stuff to say about some of these other things. But yeah, again, I really do encourage you to like keep track of what you play this year. It's kind of fun to look back on it. Okay, so the next game I beat was, Final Fantasy V. So Final Fantasy V is the only one that I never got to play growing up. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 13-2, and 15 and 16. I've played literally all of them except 13-3 and Final Fantasy V and 10-2 growing up. Now, I kind of resolved myself after I beat Remake. I kind of re-fell in love again with Final Fantasy as a whole. So I wanted to go back and kind of touch up and finish the ones I either hadn't played or started but never finished, which was basically 5, 13.3, and 10.2. And I ended up finishing 10.2 a few years ago, and I really liked it. I still have not played 13.3, but I played 5, and 5 is so good. Bro, everyone always told me in my life that Final Fantasy 5 is like the black sheep. It's the weird one. I could not disagree more, dude. Excuse me. Final Fantasy 5. 1, great music. 2, the cast is awesome. Especially, I can't remember. Listen, I'm bad with names. I can't remember her name, but this girl right here, the one with the pink hair, she is fucking awesome. Ferris, I think her name was. She's fucking awesome. It's the first game that Gilgamesh is in, so obviously it's got to be at least decent, right? The only thing with FF5 is, I guess that like the plot's not that serious. It's really like it's more funny than like serious. Like, you know what? I don't think I can pull up my Twitter because I have Twitter blocked. But when I tweeted about it, I took I found a screenshot online that was one of the funniest parts when I was playing, where God, I can't remember exactly what happened, but this is like, I guess this is spoilers for FF5. If you care, I'll wait like 5 seconds. So the main villain of 5 is basically a tree. He's he's like an evil tree. And there's one point in the game where I think you like beat him or something, and then one of the characters, I think it's her, I can't remember exactly, comes back and she's like, ow, my foot or something. And then you find out that the tree had basically either turned himself into a twig, or I can't remember exactly what happened. He's like a twig that stuck himself to her foot. And then he comes out, and then he's like, ha ha, I was a twig or some bull. I was like, this is the most like cartoon fucking Sunday morning like cartoon I've ever played. It was so ridiculous, but it was very funny. I loved it. The tree is a warlock, yeah. I think his name was X-Death, right? It was super fun, but the gameplay was also really, really good. I did not know that Final Fantasy V was the first one to have a, well, I mean, okay, 3 had a job system. I guess like one where you can like really go crazy. You know, you can change into a million different classes, and it added so much like variety to the gameplay, which I liked a lot. If you guys know anything about me, I'm a gameplay first kind of guy. If the gameplay sucks, I can still play it if the story's good. But it's gonna be a lot harder for me. The gameplay has to be good. Yeah, 5's job system is really, really well done, really fun. The music is amazing. Yeah, it feels like your party comp can be endless. It's great. It's really one of the best job systems in any game I've ever played. I hated how dragged out FF2 was. Absolutely hated that game. I am with you. Final Fantasy 2 is the only Final Fantasy I don't like. I'll be real. But what I will say is the Pixel remaster makes it a lot more tolerable, because I do like the characters and I do like the story. I just hated the gameplay. I hate that, like, you know, oh, you want to level your HP up, you got to punch your own fucking characters. It's like, I don't like it at all. That whole system, the system where you talk to them and remember things was fine. You know, it's okay. Might be a cop-out answer, but FF1 plus 3 is kind of boomer. I hated FF1 when I originally played it, and when I played it again, I actually really liked it. It's definitely very directionless, but I kind of enjoy the simplicity of it, which I don't know, maybe that makes me seem really old. I know I have a tolerance for like older games, but I did go back and really like FF1. FF3, I always liked it. Going back to it, I still really liked it. What is it called? Verdant Wind. The overworld theme is still godlike to me. The only thing I don't like about 3 is the Crystal Tower at the end. It is like really ludicrously annoying. Not only to get through, but also like you gotta grind like crazy to make that thing like possible. I'll be full up front. When I played the Pixel remaster, I bumped my XP to maximum to get through that shit. Excuse me. I have to make sure I'm drinking a lot because I'm going to be talking a lot during this. FF1 slaps. Yeah, FF1 is great, dude. Also, how are you, Andy? FF2 final boss is one-shottable with a blood. Yeah, I know, dude. The blood sword is ridiculous. They gotta bring that back, bro. That sword in like art, it looks gorgeous. But yeah, on to the next one. I played Final Fantasy VI. Bro, this pixel remaster was unreal good. Unreal good. Final Fantasy VI is still one of the greatest games of all time. I had not played FF6 since the Game Boy Advance version, which I was probably like 9 years old when I played it. Maybe 10. I don't know. I was very young. No. I think I was a little bit older than that. Maybe I was like 12 or 13. I don't know. I played it when I was very young. And dude, FF6. Oh my God. FF6. Oh my God. I like, okay. Here's my thing, right? You got to replay video games, dude. I feel like too many people will just finish a game and move on. Sometimes, bro, you got to go back and replay a game, because I knew I loved FF6, but playing it again was like, dude, FF6 is so fucking goated, man. One of the best stories in gaming, one of the best casts in gaming, maybe the best. Like, dude, every fucking, okay, maybe not like Yeti or Mog the Moogle, but like Edgar, Celeste, Terra, Locke, fucking, even Setzer is fucking goated. Sabin, fucking goated. Dude, every second of that game was just absolute bliss. And the music, the remastered soundtrack was just, oh, you have, like, okay, I will say one thing though. I don't know if I like the new version of Dancing Mad over the original. That might, it's kind of like a Persona 3 Reload situation for me, where like I don't think it hits quite as hard as the original. The Dancing Mad, Kefka's theme. Kefka, dude, Kefka, one of the greatest villains of all time, bro. Fucking goated. Oh my God. Never mind, I was about to spoil something. I love FF6. I could gush. I want a remake of that game so bad, man. It doesn't even have to be 3D. Just do HD 2D. I'll fucking dude, I'll eat that shit up. Oh, I love it. Bro, speaking of, dude, Tyler, what's up, man? How you been? I'm pretty good. Been playing Rivals v 2 and PoE 2 came out today. I didn't even know that. Bro, I'm just saying Rivals v 2 got snubbed at the Game Awards, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I will be doing the Game Awards stuff. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to see what games you guys played this year. Right now, I'm just talking about the games that I played this year, and you know, all that stuff. Hi, Kevin. Kefka for me is a top 10 villains easily, bro. Easily. Kefka is so goated. I love him. Whoop, 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 whoop. That sounds like fucking Zoidberg, but that's my Kefka laugh. Okay, next, Final Fantasy VIII. Now, I'll be real, dude. I liked FF8 growing up. It's one of my favorites, but I didn't like love the game. However, when I played FF16, Ben Starr, the actor of Clive, his favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy VIII. And that guy was gassing up FF8 so fucking much. And I was like, you know, I liked it, but I don't remember it being like that good. So I wanted to go back, or I was excited to go back and try it. Dude, FF8 is a banger. FF8 is really good. It's shot up into one of my favorites of all time now. I really loved FF8. The cast is amazing. The story is amazing. I will say when I was younger, I did not appreciate the junction system. To explain how that works in FF8, you know what? Let me see if I can pull up some images, and that would like help explain. I'm just gonna swap my scene real quick so I can, like, you know, hopefully not spoil anything. Just be disc 1 of FF8, absolutely massive. Okay, FF8 junction system. Sorry if I'm hitting my mic. Okay, here we go. I can do it with this picture. I'm pretty sure I can explain it with this. Okay, so in Final Fantasy VIII, I can't remember if there are levels. I don't think there are. But basically, for gameplay, the way that this works, it's turn-based. It uses active time battle. But you need to get... oh, no, this is not. This is abilities. Never mind. Okay, well, I can still kind of explain it. So, the way that you get your stats up is not through levels. You click the junction thing right here, and essentially, there's this mechanic called draw. So around the overworld, there's going to be spots where you can draw magic, okay? And it can be like any whatever spell, like fire or whatever. And then each enemy also is aligned to a certain spell or element. So like, let's say I go fight this thing and it has blizzard or something like that. You draw and then your character will absorb the spell, and it's almost like a consumable item. It basically is a consumable item that can stack up to 100. So let's say I go up to like an imp and I draw for fire and I get 1 fire from it. So now I have 1 fire card. We'll call it a card. I can attach that to one of my stats. So like HP, physical attack, magic attack, physical defense, magic defense, speed, luck, all that. You attach that magic to one of those stats, and then depending on the affinity to the magic. So like, let's say like if you attach a physical attack card to a magic attack stat, it's not going to get as much. But if you attach a magic card to a magic stat, it's bonus. Does that make sense? The same with like everything else. So like if you want a higher heal or higher HP, you attach heal to that. I hated this when I was younger because I thought it was way too overcomplicated. Didn't make any sense. Now that I'm not a dumbass, I love it. I thought it was fucking awesome. The only thing I didn't like it back then, and I still don't like it now, is the draw system. I don't like how you get the cards because it's a lot of grinding. So if you want to like get your attack stat up decent, I'm not shitting you. It's not go and kill things to level up. It's go up to something and mash draw until you can get 100 of that card. And then you attach like 100 pieces of that card to that stat. But then later on, you're gonna find like if you know anything about let's say Final Fantasy, right? You have Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, right? The three tiers. So let's say I want my magic stat to be really high, right? Early game, you want 100 Blizzards, then you put that on there. Then mid game, you need to get 100 Blizzaras, put that on there. Late game, get 100 Blizzagas, put that on there. You want to go crazy, get 100 Ultimas and put that. Like, it takes a long time, and you got to do that for each stat. I actually like the system in terms of like customization for my stats, but I don't like how long it takes to be able to customize. It takes forever. 5 Abyssrum's gonna, yeah, literally. Yes, you can break the game with Triple Triad, which is really fun, by the way, because there is a GF, which is a summon that you can get. I can't remember what it's called. It looks like a worm flying thing, and it has a special ability called Card, where essentially what it does is when you're in a battle, it can cast Morph, essentially. In other Final Fantasy, it'd be called Morph. It will morph the opponent into a Triple Triad card, which is really cool, actually. Then you can take that card, and you can go back to that GF, and that GF can turn the card into stats for you. It's really cool, actually. Triple Triad RPG actually sounds fun. I would love that. Dude, early on when I played FF8, like replayed it, I spent the first like 12 hours playing Triple Triad in the opening of the game, and I ended up breaking it because of that. It was really fun. Farming 50 Ruby Dragons? Yes, I had to do that because I wanted to be very OP, and it took forever. But yeah. FF8 is amazing. I think FF8 might have the best looking world, in my opinion. Like, I love the architecture of the buildings. The music is like amazing, bro. Balam Garden is such a beautiful song. Fisherman's Horizon's amazing. Yeah, there's like what's his name? Zell's town has such a cool, like, the building architecture is so cool. Yeah, FF8 was fantastic. Final Fantasy 12. This is one where growing up, everyone around me, like, that played Final Fantasy, I mean, most people around me did not play it, but the ones that did hated Final Fantasy 12. So I thought I was like the only one that liked it. And then I found out later on in life that a lot of people actually think 12 is the best one. I don't think that. 12 is, bro, not talking about the story though. I loved it. I think the story is amazing. Maybe it goes a little off the wall toward the end, but I thought it was fucking godlike. I just don't want to, like, do any spoilers or anything. The story's great. The story's really good. The last third of that game Some of those, bros, honestly, a lot of the cutscenes are like unbelievable for a PS1 game. A lot of them are like really unbelievable. They look really good. Even now. Rinoa and Squall's my number one FF couple. Are they mine? I'll have to think about this. No, they're not mine. I think Tidus and Yuna are still my number one, but I would put Rinoa and Squall number two, probably. Yeah, but FF12 it's a weird one. FF12 is definitely a weird one. One second. Excuse me. So FF12 is set in Ivalice, which is one of it's kind of like its own like world, I guess now at this point, with how many games Square has made under Ivalice. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like a legendary director at Square that made a lot, like he made Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy Tactics. He did a lot of like really, really cool games in Ivalice. He worked on 12 before he left, and then someone else took over. FF12 is, a lot of people, even myself, compared it to Star Wars, like the story setup. Replaying it, I don't know if I agree with that anymore, but I do think that a lot of the characters remind me of Star Wars characters. My favorite character was always Balthier, which is this dude right here. He's kind of like, can't remember his name in Star Wars, but the guy Harrison Ford plays, he's kind of like that guy in Han Solo. He's kind of like Han Solo in here. Really similar, if I'm being real. I also hated Vaughn, the protagonist, when I originally played it, because like he just didn't really feel like a protagonist to me. He just felt like he was on there for like a ride, kind of. But replaying it, I didn't mind him as much anymore. I don't know if that's just me growing older and like not really getting too bothered by things as much as I used to, which is a good thing, to be honest. I would rather be more positive than negative. Ash was still absolutely amazing. She's fucking awesome. I can't even remember this girl's name because she's so fucking irrelevant. Pomelo, I think her name was. Whatever, Pomelo, who cares? She was whatever, I guess. I still really love the villain, Vayne, I think his name was. This dude, I can't remember his name, but he was fucking awesome. Gabranth, Judge Gabranth. He's fucking sick. The whole judge system is really cool. I think the only unfortunate thing for me with 12 is, I guess another thing for its gameplay, it plays like an offline MMO. So similar to like Xenoblade, I guess. It plays a lot like Xenoblade. I really like 12, but I'm more of a character-driven kind of guy. And while the characters are good in 12, they're nothing like to write home about. It's definitely more of an emphasis on the political drama going on. And yeah, that's all I'll really say on the plot. And I like political intrigue is cool to me, but it's not something I get overtly invested in, which I will probably have some more to say with when we get to Metaphor. I latch on much harder to great characters over like, you know, a great overall story. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about FF12. I don't have a lot to say. I do really like it, but I don't have a lot to say about it. I like Zidane and Yuna. Do you mean Zidane and Dagger, or what is her name? Like her original name, I can't remember. I only remember her name like after she changes it. Garnet. I got a soft spot for Squall. Yeah, no, Squall is fucking amazing. I haven't played 12, but it sounds like FF16 is what you would want 12 to be. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that don't like FF16 don't like it because it focuses more on the political side of things, I'm sorry, it focuses more on the characters rather than the political side of things. But I prefer that. This is gonna sound like so dumb, I guess, but I can honestly deal with a shit story if the characters are fucking awesome. Like, honest to God, I care more about the characters being interesting and seeing where they go, how they develop throughout a story, rather than like, you know, what the overall like goal or whatever was in, like, you know, I don't care what fucking I can't even remember the names of the areas in 16 were. I know the place is called Valisthea. I guess, yeah. Oh, what is the political climate at Barnabas's area in Valisthea? I don't really care about that. I care more about like Barnabas as a character, like, you know, why is he doing what he's doing, that sort of thing. That's more interesting to me. But I do understand the appeal of the other side of things, and ideally you want both. You know, the best stories have both. Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7. But yeah. Next game, Dragon Quest. I can honestly talk about all three of these because I guess four. I played them as a collection. Because there's not much to say. These games came out in like the 80s. You know, they're really old. Dragon Quest 1 surprised me kind of in the same way when I played FF1, where it's extremely bare bones and extremely simple, but I kind of liked it. It was nice playing a really simple, RPG. Excuse me, you don't even have a party in Dragon Quest 1, it's just you. Which I thought I would hate, but no, I actually really liked it. And the game is really short, it's only like 6 hours long, 7 hours, it's really short. Maybe even shorter. Dragon Quest 2 I thought was horrible, I didn't like it at all. It's basically Dragon Quest 1, but it has a party. And I know you might hear what I just said. Oh, well, I thought fucking you like Dragon Quest 1. I don't really know either. I thought Dragon Quest 2 was a complete slog to get through. I didn't like, it felt like the party members were more of a burden than like something I liked. And I think the main reason for that is when you're going through Dragon Quest 2, so you get the other party members are like royal people from other countries. And you start the game by yourself, right? By the time you meet this dude, I don't remember their names. By the time you meet this guy, I think you name them actually. By the time you meet him, you're already like level 12. And they do not scale your party members when you meet them. They're at level 1. So I met this guy level 1, I'm level 12. And I'm like, wait, what? That's weird. I go into a random battle, he gets fucking smoked. I'm like, oh nah. Are they really gonna make me fucking grind this bitch up? So I grind, I get him to level 12, I'm like level 20 now. I'm like, this is so dumb. So and then I find out, oh, there's a third party member. Now I'm like level 24, he's like level fucking 17, and she's level 1. I was like, bruh, ain't no way. I did not like this. I hated this. Maybe I would not mind it if it didn't work like that, but maybe in the remake, because I know that they are remaking 1 and 2, they could like not do that. But I hated that. It felt like very unnecessary, like pointless grinding just to pad the game out. And I didn't like it. The music was good, but like, you know, it was completely marred by the gameplay experience. And when it comes to story, like it's basically non-existent for 1 and 2. It's literally just like go kill the evil dude. Dragon Quest 3 had a lot more to it. I actually really liked Dragon Quest 3. I'm talking about the original version, not the remake. Dragon Quest 3 felt like the first real complete RPG out of the 3 of them. You do have a full party. You start out with a full party. It has a job system. You can change jobs. We have to wait till you hit level 20, but you can change jobs pretty much whenever you want. Lots of variety. Dragon Quest 3 was awesome. It's definitely the best of these 3 by a long shot. And that brings us to waiting for FF14 to be in the list in 20 years. Hopefully soon. You know, one of my clients gifted me 3 months of FF14. I haven't used the code. He just gifted it to me. He was like, here, so you can like play it. And I'm like, one day. One day. I will play it. I don't know when. I'll probably ask you to carry me in the Crystal Tower. But yeah, that brings us to Persona 3 Reload. This is always a really awkward game for me to talk about. Because I have a lot to say about this. When's the last time you beat a Mario game? I think 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Because I replayed all of the 3D Mario games, but I didn't play Super Mario Galaxy 2, unfortunately, because I don't have... Well, I have it thanks to you now, but I didn't set up my Wii or anything. I should probably get that on my Steam Deck, though, to give it a try. But yeah. Yeah, Mario 3D All-Stars. These are your best games of all time? No. My best games of all time's I have a list for that. This is not in order. This is just like, if you want to check it out, it's on this website. I think the website's in my Discord if you ever want to see my shit. This is just games I beat in 2024. That's what this is. It says it right here. I tried to keep track of every game I played this year, so I wanted to see, you know. Pretty sure the code expired. Are you serious? Oh my god, I have to check that. Okay. Yeah, Persona 3 Reload. Okay. So I think Persona 3 Reload, I feel like I've given the wrong impression of my feelings on that game. I think Persona 3 Reload is really good. But that's like about where it ends for me. I don't think it's like excellent. I don't think it's like this, you know, unbelievable, you know, thing or anything like that. It's just a really good game. It's a faithful remake of Persona 3 to an extent. P3 over FF7R. You know, we're all allowed to have wrong opinions. Persona 3 Reload does a lot of good, but it also does a lot of like nothing, if I'm being real. They stay very true to their vision, and I'm happy about that, but I'm also unhappy about that because Persona 3 Reload doesn't really feel like Persona 3. That's kind of my biggest issue with it. It's kind of its own thing. And I don't hate that. But I don't love that either. When I look at Persona 3, the original game, Persona 3 FES encapsulates the 2000s perfectly. It's got this rough edge to it. It felt like a project that came from people who were really, really trying to make a statement, you know, with its story. And they do. The story is amazing. The characters are amazing. I don't think Atlus has topped Persona 3's characters. I'm going to be honest. That's Metaphor included. Maybe except one character. But when I go through and play Reload, I was really happy about it at first because the game feels really good to play. I feel like undeniably the gameplay is much better than Persona 3 FES, but I feel like the cracks really start to show once you get Theurgy, and that's what really hurts me because Theurgy is so cool, and I love it. You know, I'll get to the answer. I'll talk about the answer in a bit because I liked the answer more than I liked Persona 3 Reload for like a decent amount of it until like a certain point. Fuck, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, because here's the thing, right? Theurgy is basically, they just did limit breaks in Final Fantasy. It's the same thing. And I love limit breaks. So logically, I should like Theurgy. It makes me so sad whenever I think about it, man. I get genuinely depressed when I think about Persona 3 sometimes. No Fusions, dog ass game. I'll get to a lot of it. Again, I still think it's a good game. There's just so many things that are like really take away from it that hurt me. Theurgy's, I feel like Atlus, not Atlus as a whole, but P Studio, the guys who took over Persona after Studio Zero moved on to do Metaphor. When it comes to gameplay, I think it shows the most here. Studio Zero are really good at making gameplay because Metaphor made me believe that Atlus can still make fantastic gameplay. And by fantastic gameplay, I mean something where you're not like half asleep and, you know, just kicking everything over. And I know some people might be like, oh, but like, you know, it's good for new players. And I agree. I think I would never go up to somebody and be like, play Persona 3 FES or Reload. I would never do that. I would always say play Persona 3 Reload. But for me, as somebody who has played so many Atlus games, I do struggle to like see how anyone could like play Persona 3 Reload on its highest difficulty and then walk away from that experience and being like, that was a fun gameplay experience. Because it is, as soon as you get Theurgy specifically. Before that, I actually think it's good. Then you get Theurgy, and it's like they never balanced any fight around it. And so everything becomes a cakewalk. The entire game becomes a cakewalk. It reminds me of like, if you want to have like fun in Pokemon gameplay wise, you have to gimp yourself. And I feel like the same with Persona 3. you Reload specifically, you have to actively gimp yourself to have even a modicum of a challenge. And that is like the biggest like knock on the game for me. Because I play Metaphor and I don't have to do that. Metaphor's gameplay is fucking godlike. Really good difficulty, not super hard, but not super easy, which is good for veteran players and for new players. I think games like Dark Souls have proven to many people that you can have challenge in your game, you know, and it will sell, or people can still enjoy it. And I've heard complaints or like, you know, people that combat me on this point by saying like, well, what do you call it? Like Atlas should not cater to players like me who want a challenge or whatever. They need to cater to everybody. And my retort to that is I'm playing on Merciless. If I'm playing on a difficulty that literally states that my ass is going to be spread open and fist fucked until it's blue, I'm expecting to get my ass spread open and fist fucked until it's blue. But instead, I'm like barely paying attention to the game and completely wiping everything. It's not even like remotely fun. That's that, you know, all that's besides the point though when it comes to like the story. Again, the story is amazing, the characters were amazing. I think that it's not fair for me to like attack it on the front of its presentation, because I've said this when talking to my friends like Haya, actually I talked about this with, because I have so much experience with Persona 3 and other mediums. It's not really fair for me to judge its presentation, because like I have too much experience with the other stuff. I look at, you know, Persona 3, it's cutscenes and it's you know, what the fuck is it called? It's music. And then I look at like Persona 3 Fez or the movies, and it's like, for me, I'm like, well, they did it better before. Why did they not like adapt some of this other stuff to like improve Reload? And that is more confusing to me, but I don't think I can really knock the game for that. I don't think that's fair, because that's not judging the game by its own merits. That's like comparing and contrasting with the old, which I don't think is fair. Because like, for example, I think the movies did the ending better than the original game, and I thought that they did what they did with the movies. With Reload, they did not. They just kept the original, and that just made me go, well, we just have a better version in the movies. And then there's also like, there was an added scene in the movies with Junpei where Junpei like snaps and loses it, and then the protagonist actually speaks and like goes through this whole thing with Junpei, and that's a part of the film. And that thing was incredible, but that was not added to Reload. But again, I don't really think it's fair to judge the game for that. I think you have to judge the game by its own merit, which, if I'm judging the game without any outside perspective, it's really good. The presentation is beautiful. The models are really good. The music, while I prefer the originals, it's still really well done. And I've said that my take on the music before. I'll say it real quick again. Persona 3 Reload's new music is amazing. Persona 3 Reload's old music is also amazing. I don't think any of the music is bad. It's just a subjective thing where, to me, it doesn't feel like Persona 3. Specifically, when I reach certain parts of the game that I associate so heavily to, you know, how I felt growing up and like learning to accept dying. I associate Persona 3's music so hard to that time of my life. So, like, when Battle for Everyone's Soul kicks in, and it doesn't have that hard-hitting drum, it doesn't have that nasty guitar sound, I'm disappointed. When Nyx descends from the sky and the bass and the percussion is not slamming my ears like this giant being is coming to end us all, I'm disappointed. I just can't help but feel that way. Is the instrumentation bad? No, not by any means. It just doesn't feel like Persona 3 to me, specifically. Erebus P3 Fez, very true. I understand your point, but I also think the perspective is a little skewed, not just because you're an Atlas vendor, also because Fez is probably the hardest game they've made, so in comparison, it's very easy to notice. I'm not really comparing the gameplay to Persona 3 Fez. I'm comparing it to Studio Zero, which is the guys who made Metaphor, which are the guys who made Persona 5 original, not Royal. And basically, my point is that when the studios shifted from Studio Zero to P Studio, there was a very, very obvious dip in gameplay quality, and that started with Royal, and in my opinion, got even worse with Reload. Like, if I'm talking about the original games, like if I want me to like really like, you know, go in on that, because I agree with you. I don't think it's really fair. Persona 3 Fez plays like a different game. I think anyone who's played Fez would agree with me on this. Fez is basically a different game than Reload. Fez is like, when I fought Nyx, that was like one of the hardest boss fights in my life. When I fought Nyx in Reload, I was like barely paying attention. It's definitely easier than OG, and wait, for me personally, I struggled a fair bit. It wasn't like until Endgame I was a bit over it, so I hear you think it's just easy. It doesn't really feel too great. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like attack you. I'm more so like talking about, I guess like, I mean, you know, I've played like a million Persona games, and so like, I guess it's just disappointing to me even more because like, I know you probably don't have any interest in Metaphor, Sam, but like, when I played Metaphor, I was like, oh my God, it really was just the developers, the ones that are not working on Persona anymore. No, they still know how to make like a balanced difficulty. They still do, because Metaphor is that, and Persona 3 Reload was not. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry if it felt like you were attacking you. But yeah, it's definitely easier than OG and certainly not balanced well around Theurgy. I'm just saying, as someone who's extremely associated with Alice games like you, I feel like it's always going to be easy, or maybe that's cope. The only reason I don't feel that way is, again, because I played Metaphor, which plays a lot like Persona, and it was not easy. I was playing on not even the hardest difficulty because it's not available to you at the start. I played on hard, and it's not easy. It's really not. I died quite a bit, which was like awesome. I had to actually go back and think about like, what can I do to like get a leg up on this boss? What can I do to navigate this dungeon in a way that doesn't screw me? Whereas like when I'm playing Persona 3 Reload, I'm not really even thinking at all. I'm just kind of like going through the motions, which can be good. You know, that's not a bad thing. But when I'm specifically playing on the hardest difficulty, I'm not playing to go through the motions. I'm playing to get my ass fucked. Does Metaphor have similar mechanics? Yeah. You have a persona in Metaphor. It doesn't have baton pass. You do have something similar to Theurgy though. But even like using that idea, you look at Metaphor and like, what else did the people who made Metaphor made? They made the original Persona 5, and Persona 5 does have baton pass. And Persona 5 Original, if Tyler was here, I'm sure he would agree with me. Persona 5 Original is not an easy game, you know? Persona 5 Original is pretty hard for like a solid amount of that game. And then Royal and Reload are not, just like really easy. Okay, 1 second. 9932. It's too bad the original composer was busy with Metaphor. Regardless, good soundtrack from the remake. Yeah. I liked Bass P5. Yeah, Bass P5 is I think I like Royal more, but like from a gameplay experience, Bass P5 was designed better, like for sure. Which is, I hate to say that because I think Royal is the better game, but yeah. Shit was really hard for like 40% of the game. Yeah, thank God I had Dole here to like help back me up on this. Yeah, base Persona 5 is much different than Royal in terms of like, you know, its balance. I probably would never change class because I'm the type to just bash harder if the first beating didn't work. That's awesome. That's awesome, Kevin. I like that. What else can I say about Persona 3 Reload? This was the one thing I really wanted to say about Persona 3 Reload. Despite everything that I just said about Reload, the only thing that actually matters to me about Persona 3 as a whole whether it's original Persona 3, Persona 3 Fez, Persona 3 Portable, the Persona 3 movies, or Persona 3 Reload, I don't actually care if I love Reload or not. What I care about is that people can enjoy the story that's behind Persona 3. Because Persona 3 is one of like 3 or 4 games that genuinely molded how I view life, how I view social connections to people, and how I am as a person. Persona 3 Reload is like genuinely, or Persona 3 just in general, is a life-changing game. So despite how I feel, if I'm not super hot on Reload or whatever, I am just happy that when I saw online that Persona 3 Reload is the best-selling Atlas game of all time, I was like, dude, this is like what I really, really wanted, was for more people to go in and see what this story is all about. I'm literally getting goosebumps just thinking about it, dude. I know it's so like cheesy and corny because, video games or whatever, but I really do believe that video games are an art, and I really do believe that video games can actively be a force for good. And Persona 3 Reload is right there at the top with many others that can change your life. Games like Silent Hill 2, games like Final Fantasy 7. These games really can change your life. They are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stories that can pick you up and lift you up higher than you've ever been before. And that, to me, is the most important thing. Despite, if I know I've gotten a lot of messages from people that think I'm a Reload hater, that is not the case. At the end of the day, what's more important to me than anything is that more people can enjoy that story and take something away from it, and hopefully give back to others. And with Persona 3 Fez being the only way to play the game for the longest time, that bothered me more than anything. Do you know how hard it is to convince people to go and play a PS2 game? It's fucking hard. Now that this remake exists, I'm just so happy that more people can go and play it. If anything, I think I said this when I beat Reload. Part of me wished I had never even played Persona 3 or watched the movies or anything like that, and that Reload was my first experience. Because I said this to my friend Sam, I said this to my friend Haya. I think if you have no experience with Persona 3 at all, you don't have any of these preconceived notions that I have because I played the others, you hop into Reload, you probably think this is one of, if not the greatest game ever made. Straight up. Because you don't have like all that other bullshit in your head like me. Persona 3 Reload is something that every person should play. 100%. It's in my top 3 favorite. Exactly. Persona 3 just in general is my second favorite game of all time. I will always be biased towards Persona 3, and dude, I even said this when I beat Metaphor. We'll get to Metaphor when I get to it. I loved Metaphor. Brother, I don't even think this story comes within fucking 30 feet of Persona 3. Just straight up. I don't. I think Metaphor is the better game, but like this shit is not even close to Persona 3 when it comes to the story. I don't think Atlas can top Persona 3's story. I just don't think they can. Maybe at some point, but like we'll see. Okay, let me read. Faults and all. Yeah, 100%. Like I can deal with Tartarus and all that bullshit, whatever the fuck, dude. I don't care. Persona 3 is fucking goated. It is fucking goated. I agree. It seems Japanese developed games seem to hit like that more often than others, but I could just be biased. There are really good Western games. I'll back Mass Effect. I'll back The Witcher, but I do think I obviously I gravitate more to Japanese games. I do. I can't lie. Tartarus over Abyss of Time. This is true. I will not combat you on that. For sure, P3R is probably my third favorite game of all time. Exactly. Next up, I'll talk about The Answer. So The Answer is a game the expansion to Persona 3 original and Reload. That is a story that I love. I know a lot of people hate The Answer story, but I love it. I think, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit when I get to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because here's the thing. The reason why Final Fantasy VII and Persona 3 are my favorite games of all time, Persona 3 Reload taught me to live my life to the fullest. Final Fantasy VII taught me... it taught me a lot of things. Final Fantasy VII I don't know. I'll get to it when I get to it. But basically, Final Fantasy VII's core themes are what make up the Answers themes, which is learning how to deal with death, learning how to accept death, and how to move forward from it. That's the core theme of the Answer. I was more looking forward to the Answer than Persona 3 Reload when it was coming, because I was like, okay, well, there's like almost nothing for me to come back on, you know, or like compare it to with the Answer versus Persona 3, because I've seen so much different versions of Persona 3. There's a lot to compare it to. With the Answer, I thought it was just gonna be a direct upgrade, right? And I actually think it is. I think Persona 3 Reload, the Answer, is fantastic. I think it's really good. There's like two parts of it that I prefer in the original, but like as a whole, I do think it is just a straight upgrade to the original. Outside of, again, the music, I'm not gonna go into it again, but same reasons as Reload. The Darkness, the final boss theme, and Heartful Cry do not hit as hard for me as they do in the original, but everything else about it is great. I really loved what they did with even though it's not voiced, I liked a majority of what they did with the social stuff. Even if some of them was like honestly whatever, I did come to appreciate it over time. Excuse me. I think the one issue I gravitate to with the Answer. So here's the thing. Even though I liked the original Answer, here I will compare both Answers gameplay. The original version of the Answers gameplay is dog shit. It's dog shit in there for a different reason of why it's dog shit in Reload. In the original, it's dog shit because you don't have a compendium. That's right. You do not have a fucking compendium in the original version of the Answer. And that basically ruins it. It really, it's so absurdly difficult. But a lot of that difficulty feels artificial rather than like actually hard. Yes, the bosses are hard and they're fun to get through, but just to get to the point to be able to fight them, oof, it's rough. And then in Reload, the Answer's gameplay is ass because of the same reasons that Reload's gameplay is ass. It's just stupidly easy. And you end up like brain damage, or not brain damaged, brain dead going through all of it. However, the last part of Reload's Answer, the gauntlet fights, are incredible. Those fights made me believe that P Studio can actually have like fun boss fights. And then you get to Erebus, and Erebus was like not really a great boss fight. But the gauntlet fights were awesome. They were really awesome. But yeah, overall, I would say I like the Answer. I don't think I'll play it again because I did start to get really sick of the gameplay just because it was very easy. There was a point where I literally got so tired of fighting the Monad bosses that I was like, I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna run through the entire dungeon and ignore everything. And I would never do. You guys know me. I do everything in a video game. But the Answer, I was like losing my head. I was like, I can't even do this anymore. I just don't even want to bother. But yeah, Answer was good. Brain damage looking at. I like it more than Reload. I think Reload not quite a good remake because of the direction. I think the Answer benefits for its new mechanics. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I do think Answer is better than Reload. I don't love it, but you know, I do think it's better. Have you beat the secret boss in the Answer? No, I'm gonna do it on stream. I didn't do the Monad stuff either in the very last section. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. I will say though, bro, the new battle theme in the Answer might be my favorite battle theme they've ever made. Don't is so good. Don't was such a fucking banger, bro. Woo! That song goes hard as fuck. It's so good. Such a banger. Really good. But P1, okay, that song is really good, but Don't is like insane good, dude. It's insane good. Absolute fucking banger. Yeah. Let me drink some water. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm literally just yapping up video games all stream. Listen, video games are fucking awesome. Go play video games. Don't along with going down. Oh, it's going down now is amazing too. I don't know if I like. Here's the thing, okay? My favorite battle theme was Takeover from Persona 5 Royal, and I like It's Going Down Now a lot, but I didn't like it more than Takeover. I think I like Don't more than Takeover. I think I do. I'm not 100% sure. I have to listen again. For overworld themes, Changing Seasons is also good. Dude, that one, oh my god. Don't even get me started. The first time I heard the new version of Changing Seasons, I cried. That's how much I loved it. I loved it, dude. Okay. The next game that I finished. Play the music. I'm gonna play the music when I get to the nominations for music, because I want to like theme it around, you know, when I get to music and stuff. For now, I'm just talking about the games I played this year. I don't think it's a battle theme, but Color Your Night was my #1 song on Spotify. Oh, dude, Color Your Night is godlike, bro. For a solid like 2 months, I listened to Color Your Night every night I walked my dog. Like, whew. Walking at night, listening to Color Your Night is like heaven. It's like heaven. Okay, so the next game that I finished this year was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If you watched my playthrough of the game, I don't know what more I can say. So I'll just try to summarize my thoughts. But going into Rebirth, I had a pretty, I don't know if toxic is the right word, going into it. But I remember I had this conversation with my partner, August, where I was like, okay, so to go back to what I was talking about, FF7 Remake, going into Remake, I wasn't sure if it was going to be good. I had a feeling that it might just be like an okay game or bad. Then Remake blew my mind. However, I will say a lot of the reasons why I love what they're doing is because I know what's happening ahead. I feel like, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a bit. Going into Rebirth, my expectations were like, I can't even move my hand as high as they were, because Remake was so insane to me compared to what Square had been doing for years that I didn't think that they could like top it. I think they could match it, but I didn't think they could top it. I just posted a thing on Blue Sky earlier today about how I haven't played a game in forever that has completely rocked my world like Rebirth did to me. Every minute of that game was so unbelievable. Like, the reason why I praise it so much is because I am a massive fan of FF7, which you might look at, he's a fanboy. I'm not. I swear to you, I am not. I mean, okay, I am, but like, I'm not blind to criticism, or I'm not blind to that's not the right way to say it. I'm not blind to like bad things in games. Like I was just saying earlier, I like FF7 Remake. Even when I beat it, I was like, there's a shit level. The fucking, a lot of the level design is just literally PS2 corridors. Yeah, not blind to flaws. It's been a long time since I played a game, and I had to like fight with my brain to find a flaw in Rebirth. I do think that a lot of the game objectively is up for interpretation. But for somebody like me, where my core beliefs in video games are fun, variety, music, and great combat, and great characters, and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if I have played or will ever play a game that can exceed Rebirth. When I beat Remake, I still think the original Final Fantasy VII was better. When I beat Rebirth, I don't even, I literally just, I don't have words for it. I don't have words for it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirths, let's start with the music. The soundtrack for Rebirth has like, what, 700 songs or something? And they created a song. They did this with Remake 2, but it's way more apparent in Rebirth because of how much content is in Rebirth, which I want to circle back to in terms of development very soon. There is like 700 or 800 songs in Rebirth, and all of them are original pieces, or like they took an arrangement and then reorchestrated it or rearranged it to be a completely different genre. This is not a spoiler because it's a side thing. There is literally a side quest where there's a dog in it, okay? And they created a new overworld theme for the dog. And then they created a seamless transition battle theme for the dog. There is not a single game in the world where the developers are going to care enough to do that. I'm just being completely real. This even exists for like a frog mini game where you turn into a frog and then they orchestrated an entire frog theme. Just that only plays there. There is like every area has its own overworld theme, has its own overworld battle theme, has its own overworld boss theme. Like I can't even begin to understand how they created that much music for a single game. We're gonna listen to songs later when I vote, but like I was looking for a channel that had the Rebirth music. Look at this: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth OST Complete Disc 1, Complete Disc 2, Queen's Blood songs, Complete Disc 3, Complete Disc 4, Complete Disc 5, Complete Disc 6, Complete Disc Loveless, Complete Disc Loveless 2, Complete Disc 7, Complete Disc 8. Bro. And that's still not all the music, because I checked, this doesn't even include the minigame music. This doesn't even include the Gold Saucer's different music. Bro, they took the Gold Saucer's theme and then they made versions of the Gold Saucer that use versions of each of the other characters' themes, depending on who you ended up with, which means you're not even gonna hear like 7 other versions of that song in your first playthrough. What other, I cannot think of another game where the composers and the developers and the directors care even a modicum that much to do that. That amount of musical variety is like unbelievable to me. It's just unbelievable. And it's all so good. There's only one part in the game musically where I was disappointed. It's towards the end of the game. The song they used is still really good, but they should have used another song. I'll get to it when I get to it. When we get to, I guess I could talk about it right now. There's a boss that you fight towards the end of the game that is one of my favorite boss fights. And when it appeared, again, the song that played was fantastic, but it should have been a different song. Let me, oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me change this. I'm gonna swap my scene. Okay, hold on. So I can find the song. I don't want to show the fight because I don't want to show spoilers. But if you've played the original game, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Give me a second. Okay. So again, no flame to the song that they used instead, that they crafted. It was really good. But this song is one of my favorite, absolute favorite songs of all time in the original game. And when this part happened in Rebirth, I was like, well, okay, I was too engulfed by what was happening to judge it, but going back and looking at it, they should have redone this song. They 100% should have. But yes, other than that, musically, absolute fucking masterpiece. Play the Rebirth version, sure. 1 second. I don't think I can show my screen though, because for some reason everybody like puts the fucking boss fight in the video, and it. Well, actually, maybe I can find it in here. Let me see. I don't know what the name of it is though. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. Is it this? You can't hear it, but just give me a second. Okay, yeah, here we go. Just close your eyes. It's not showing anything on screen, but the title of I can't hide the title of the video. So if you don't want spoilers for Rebirth, just like close your eyes for a second. I'll wait. Okay. This is the song that plays instead of the song I just played. It's still really good, but it is not like... It's just not the song I expected. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna close that. But yeah, again, musically, it's fantastic. I'm not showing the spoiler anymore, by the way. Music is like unbelievable. I cannot think of another game that does anywhere near that level of stuff. And the crazy thing is that's all reflected in every part of this game, because now we get to the gameplay. And once again, like, I played FF7 Remake and I loved the gameplay and I thought it was amazing, but I hated the aerial combat. I played Intergrade and I was like, oh man, they figured it out. Yuffie plays amazing. Then I played Rebirth and I was like, bro, they fucking killed it. They absolutely killed it. The amount of variety and what you can do in gameplay, again, same with the music. It feels like a true RPG. You know, if you don't know, in Final Fantasy VII, instead of having like a traditional job system, you have materia. And the materia is what allows you to kind of craft your build and how you want your character to play as. Now, going throughout the game, obviously it starts off small, and then by the end, you got like a whole fucking toolbox of shit you want to do. Hell, you have an ocean that you can play around with of materia. And that's all reflected in the gameplay, but not just the materia, but the folio system. The folio system is what lets you grab new abilities, new abilities for your gameplay, whether it's through synergy, which we'll get to, or just, you know, new attacks straight up, new limit breaks, stuff like that. But where the gameplay really opens up, other than the fact that the aerial combat is like the best that Square has ever designed, and for me personally, the best air combat I've ever played in a video game, is the synergy system. The level of creativity that I have seen from players online, mind-boggling. Every character has some kind of crazy cool new mechanic that they can do with another person. And they're all cancelable. They're all like fucking, oh my God. Just the depth is insane. You can combine them with these other abilities, which, by the way, there's two kinds of synergies, but there's also two kinds of abilities. Some abilities can cost ATB. You build up your ATB, lets you cast a spell, an ability, etc. Then there's another kind of ability that changes the opponent's state. And those are free. What do you call it? Or no, some of them do cost, but some of them are free. The ones that do cost can displace the enemy, launch the enemy, pull the enemy, juggle the enemy. There's a bunch that you can play with. And again, all cancelable. You can do them in the air, you can do them on the ground, which just opens up your options even more. Then for the synergy, there's synergy skills and synergy abilities. can't remember which one's which, but I think synergy abilities are basically like limit breaks. They let you do a really big combo attack with another character, and then they apply a special property to you. So unlimited mana, boosted limit break, fucking, what the fuck? I can't remember all of them. Extra ATB, like a third ATB bar. There's a bunch of them. And then the synergy skills are basically a free move that you can do between two different characters. And there's a bunch of different ones. There's like charged attacks. There's ones that will place a character in the air. So like one of my favorite ones was called Soaring Flurry, which is with Tifa and Cloud, where when you activate it, Tifa will jump onto Cloud's sword, which is fucking badass, and then Cloud will throw her like a like he's playing baseball, and you're still in control of Tifa. So I would do one of my favorite things to do with Tifa, because she's one of my favorite characters to play, was to run a combo on the ground and then call in Cloud, have Cloud come in, help my Tifa, kick the enemy into the air, follow them up, go for an aerial combo, knock them back into the ground, swap over to another character. Like, dude, it is so cool. Every character has just this insane level of depth. It's like, you know, I remember watching this one of Maximilian Dude's streams, and he described FF7 Rebirth's combat as if Marvel vs. Capcom 2 combat was in a JRPG. And while I don't entirely agree with him on that, that is 100% exactly how it feels. Bro, you have absolutely nothing. Just get to the next topic. You know what, King? That's so fantastic that you say that. Why don't you give us a big old thing that to talk about right now? Why don't you hit me with that? I'll wait. LMAO, come on, brother. That's not a topic. I'm waiting. Hello? Let's talk about GTA 6 might be the greatest game of all time. When you look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's gameplay, and you hop in, and you do a synergy skill, whether it's between Cloud and Tifa, or you're doing it between Tifa and Yuffie, or Yuffie and Aerith, bro, the last time I hopped on, which was yesterday, to finish up the Coliseum, the instant thing I did, I put Yuffie and I put Aerith on the same team. I go for unlimited MP, and let me tell you, the amount that you could do with Yuffie blew my fucking mind. Yuffie herself, I thought going from Intergrade to Rebirth was unreal. I genuinely blew my fucking mind how much they were able to upgrade. It's like I look at the music, I look at the gameplay. Once again, variety is king. But it's not just there. It's not just there. It's also the overworld. You look at the overworld, and the amount of bullshit that these guys managed to come up with that is also super fun, in my opinion, to do. I literally cannot stop smiling when I think about it. I do think that, like, if I had to look at it fairly and objectively, I think the only things in Rebirth, this is why I talked about them first, that I think universally are praised is music and gameplay. Or like combat, specifically combat gameplay, which I do agree with. That stuff I feel like is undeniably godlike. It's everything else where I think it's basically up to the person. And then some of it, like the narrative, is basically wait and see, right? Which again, I will never dispute that. But for someone like me, where variety is king, dude, Rebirth was just unbelievable. I also love that it's all optional. Something I really hate that I see a lot whenever people come and talk to me about Rebirth having like, oh, I hate the mini games or whatever, which I think is totally fair. You can think the mini games are ass because that's all subjective, but I think it's wrong to see, because I do see people that are like, Rebirth shouldn't be praised because I don't know, I suck at the boxing mini game or something. That to me is ridiculous because you could just not do it. You know, a lot, like almost every mini game is completely optional or skippable. And then some mini games like Queen's Blood, which I think is the one mini game that everyone pretty much universally agrees is fucking godlike. Queen's Blood, holy fuck, man. Queen's Blood starting from the beginning to the end. What a fucking crazy ass quest line, by the way. I still need Square Enix to release that as its own thing, because I really do think it would sell. I think the only thing that sucks about Queen's Blood is that the on the card art, it's just like a PNG or like a render of whatever it is, like Soldier, and then or like, you know, like Soldier Grunt, and then it's just like a 3D image of the Soldier Grunt. But that's like aesthetics. The actual gameplay is amazing. But yeah, they have 30 plus mini games is what I saw. 30 plus mini games, which I personally loved every single one of them. There wasn't a single one I disliked, which surprised me. I thought I would hate at least one, but no, I genuinely loved every single one of them. I wouldn't be going for the platinum if I didn't like some of them. One of the ones that blew my mind, bro, I saw people that didn't like the crunching mini game. The one where like you're playing as Tifa and you're doing like sit-ups or crunches or whatever. Dude, that mini game is so good. I couldn't believe that there were people that didn't like it. It was so fun. Yeah, multiplayer Queen's Blood would go fucking insane. Something I really want is if they could put multiplayer in the Gold Saucer. I would shit my fucking pants, dude. I would love that. Dude, the minigame that everyone hates, Gears and Gambits, which is like a tower defense RTS thing. Sorry, I like it. I thought it was fun. I genuinely thought it was fun. The Moogle minigame, the one where you chase the stupid ass Moogles and throw them in the pit. Sorry, I actually fucking loved it. I loved it every time I did it. I thought it was fun as hell. For me, you know, and I'll talk about this more when I get to Metaphor, but for me, one of the key things to make a game memorable, for me specifically, is how hard the developers can swing on an idea. Okay, I will take a game that has high highs and low lows over a game that is consistently good, which again, I don't think Rebirth has lows, but I think objectively there are, like, you can view it as there are lows, right? I think that's very obvious. Like, not everyone is gonna like doing all the open world stuff. Not everyone is gonna like doing like the mini games, etc. That whole thing. Whereas like something like Metaphor is a way more consistent experience. Like it's got it doesn't do a lot in terms of gameplay variety, but what it does do, it does extremely well, you know? Whereas like with Rebirth, again, you're gonna run into more mixed opinions from people, because like some people might really love this and they think this is fucking godlike, but then I don't really like that, but then this is fucking godlike. So I could see Rebirth being like this for most people, even though for me it's like way up there. But I think that's kind of important to like make your game be like to stick out, you know what I mean? For someone like me, one of the biggest reasons why I was so into what they did initially with Remake, in terms of the story, I'm not gonna spoil anything or talk about the story like deeply, is that they are basically, they're jumping into a pool of sharks with the story. And I love that. You know, I cannot think of anyone else in the world that has the balls to do that. Especially in Square's case, FF7 is their golden goose, you know? I can't think of anyone else that would be willing to chance themselves as hard as they did with Final Fantasy VII, like they did. They could have done this and it would have been absolute ass. Absolute. That's why I was so afraid of Remake when it was coming out. But they did it, and they did it good. Yeah. And I'll keep the story short because I don't want to spoil the story. But obviously I think it's really good. I think the narrative is really strong. However, the biggest problem with it is that it's not finished. it's part two of a 3-part story. So it's not a complete narrative. That's like its biggest weakness, which, listen, I'll talk about it when I get to here in the Game Awards nominations at some point, but it's not a complete narrative. Therefore, I don't even know if you could call it a best narrative. I'm just going to say that for sure. That being said, because I know FF7's full story, what they are doing and the sense of where they're taking certain characters, they are setting up to be even better than the original game. If they're going the direction that I think that they're doing, which has me over the moon excited. But again, that I don't think you can apply to this year in terms of like, you know, can this be nominated or can this win like best story or whatever? You cannot think about like, oh, but they're going to do this with that character. They're going to do that with that character in the next story. I don't think you can apply that to like its current narrative. And so because of that, I have to look at it on its own, and I think it's really good. But a lot of that, again, is relying on, well, how do they execute that? How do they execute this? And again, it's part two of a 3-part story. It's not a complete narrative. And you do feel that by the end of the game. It's not a complete narrative. But yeah, amazing game. Probably my favorite game I've ever played in my life. So the next game that I played was Final Fantasy 13. And dude, I cannot wait to do a video either on this game or talk about it in my FF7 video in the future, because FF13 in many ways is kind of my first Final Fantasy. It's not the first one that I played, but it was the Final Fantasy that got me into Final Fantasy. And I'll go into this more detail in a video at some point, but essentially I saw an E3 trailer for Final Fantasy 13 years and years ago that blew my mind. I was in elementary school, I think, and that E3 trailer, it's so funny because that entire trailer isn't even real gameplay. It's just like a what is it called? A vertical slice, like a fake vertical slice demo, I guess. I don't know. Visual demo of what FF13 could look like is really what it was. But when I saw that when I was a kid, I was like, I want to play what that is. And that was what made me go, I got to go play Final Fantasies. Then I played 7 and, you know, all the others and all, et cetera, et cetera. So I love 13. I still think 13 has one of the best turn-based battle systems in any game. I love the story, as ridiculous as it is, and I love the characters, as ridiculous and stupid as they are. The music is still one of the best in the entire fucking series, and probably my favorite battle theme. Like, Blinded by Light goes way too hard. And I also got a newfound appreciation for the boss theme. I wish I could remember the name of it. I think it's something Fate or some bullshit. Replaying FF13, I was like, whoa, I do not remember the boss theming this fucking good, dude. Holy shit, this is awesome. Obviously loved the gameplay. Replaying it, I was concerned because, you know, it's had such a bad rep for years. And I was always the guy that would defend it. But in a way, I was kind of blindly defending it because it had been like over 15 years since I played the game. Okay, maybe not that long. I'm not that old, but it's got to be like over 10 years, right? When did this game come out? I don't remember. But it came out a long time ago. So in a way, I was kind of blindly defending it. But playing it now, man, nah, it fucking rules, dude. It's like, I think in my post, I put it as the most 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10 game ever. It is awesome. I absolutely love it. You're 40. I'm going to kill you. How old are you? I'm 29. I'm 29. Fuck, I'm old. Yeah. It came out in 2009. Oh, fuck, I'm old. Holy shit. Actually, I know that this year is like, what, the 10th anniversary? Or 15th anniversary or something? I don't know. I can't remember. I read something online that it's like a significant anniversary for 13 this year. I can't remember. Yeah, I was worried going back to it that I would hate it. And no, I still fucking love it. It is It is 100% like a hallway simulator with way too much combat. You know, especially coming off of Rebirth, right? Has zero fucking variety. Takes forever for the combat system to really open up. Takes forever for the Crystarium to open up. Takes forever for the Paradigm system to open up. The fucking chapters themselves, you know, they stay a hallway until like chapter 13 or 12 or whatever the fuck. It takes forever for all that shit. And yet somehow, some way, I still love it. I don't know why. I just love FF13, dude. It's awesome. I feel like I had this conversation with one of my friends, I think it was Delano, about how I think sometimes people look at mediocre games and dismiss them. And dude, there is still beauty to a 6 or a 7 out of 10 game, bro. And that's like FF13 to me. It's like, it's a 6 out of 10 with so much heart to it. I love it. 13's awesome. Is it different, Nick? Yeah, it is. 34 here. Oh, really? God damn, bro. That's wild. Not that you're old. I can't believe I have someone that's 34 that watches me. I respect that, dude. I personally hate 13. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. When I look at 13, I 100% understand why people do not like 13. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Let's go. FF13 is gas. It is. It's fucking awesome. I'm 22. Bro, I wish I was your age right now, man. Excuse me. They just don't give him a chance. Let's not give 13 a try, and I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I also understand if you wouldn't like it, right? Because like here's the thing, right? FF10 is my second favorite Final Fantasy, and probably my third favorite game of all time. FF10 is also very linear, like 13. However, 10 has variety, and it has actual towns. 13 does not. There's like story reasoning why there's, you know, you don't run into towns and stuff like that, but can't really excuse it, I don't think. Didn't like 15 either. Remake was the first FF I'd loved since 10. Dude, I would not blame you. I love 15. I think 15's fucking awesome. But I don't blame you. I really do think, that's why I was saying with 7 Remake. This is what I was saying, man, is even though, again, I'm not blind to faults. Even though I like 13, I like 15, I'm not blind to Final Fantasy not being in the greatest state ever before 7 Remake came out. I was worried about 7 Remake because, again, as much as I do like 13 and I do like 15, bro, those games are not masterpieces, not even close. And I think we can all agree on that if you've played those games. So that's why I really do like hold the remake trilogy on such high esteem. Like what those guys did. I forgot to mention this with Rebirth. Everything that I just praised Rebirth for, with its variety and how much stuff they managed to fit in that game, they did that in 3 years, man. They did all of that in 3 years. Bro, there are some games I play that have like a 10-year development cycle and don't even have half of the content that is as good or like as much in volume as Rebirth had. Unreal. But let's go to the next game. And this is a hidden banger. Not really a hidden banger. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Dude, Shadow Generations blew me away, bro. I'm a big fan of Sonic. I said this when I played that game. Sonic, when growing up, I was more of a Sonic kid than I was a Mario kid. I still love Mario, but like I was sucking the blue blurs wee wee from the age of fucking like 4. Okay, I fucking loved it, Sonic growing up, and Sonic has had its problems. You know, like some games have rough level design, etc., etc. Excuse me. Forces was really bad. I don't think it's as bad as people said it was, but you know, Forces was not great. Frontiers was amazing. I loved Sonic Frontiers. So that rejuvenated my hope in the Sonic franchise. I was like, dude, Sonic Frontiers is fucking amazing. The story was really good, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. Then I see that they're remastering Sonic Generations. And Sonic Generations, okay, my favorite Sonic game of all time is Sonic Adventure 2. But the best Sonic game of all time was Sonic Generations to me. It is an unbelievable game. Super fun. Shadow the Hedgehog, the original game, Shadow the Hedgehog, people are gonna hate me for it, is underrated. That game fucking rules. And listen, you know how I was just saying that, like, I was blindly defending 13 because I hadn't replayed it in a long time? I'm doing that right now with Shadow the Hedgehog, all right? I have not played Shadow the Hedgehog since I was like 13, and I will blindly, shut the fuck up, Andy. I am blindly defending this motherfucker right now until I replay it and realize it's shit. I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna defend this fucking game. I literally remember nothing about Shadow the Hedgehog, the original game, other than you had a gun, Shadow went, damn, whenever he died, and the music was fucking awesome. I don't remember the level design, I don't remember the enemy AI, enemy play, I don't remember any of that shit. Goated as fuck. So when I saw that they were like willing to go back to you know, whatever the fuck Shadow the Hedgehog was, and then whatever the fuck Sonic 06 was, and do it again, I was like, yo, Sega, you are goated for this. I like the vision. We're bringing back the garbage, the good shit, you know? But then you play Shadow Generations and you're like, wait, this is good. Like, it is good. It is some of the best 3D platforming, some of the best like speed I've ever felt while I'm platforming in a game. The abilities are so interesting, like how they incorporated it into each level. And another thing, one of the things I hate about Sonic Colors, even though I like Sonic Colors, is I hate the constant shifting to 2D. And even in Generations, okay, it's not as bad in Generations. It's pretty decent. But I still don't love it in Generations. In Shadow Generations, it's fucking amazing. I am willing to go on a limb and say that straight up level design and gameplay, Shadow Generations is one of the best ever made. That's how good I thought it was. It was amazing. But then on top of that, again, controversial opinion, I think the narrative was fucking godlike. I thought the narrative was genuinely really good. I loved the development they made for Shadow. I loved what they did with Maria, with fucking, I can't remember his name, Gerald, I believe his name was. The fact that, spoilers for Shadow Generations, I'll wait like 5 seconds. I loved that he was like, that he called Shadow his son. Are you kidding me, bro? And then at the end of the game, he fucking watches them go and he just runs away, and then Rouge is like looking at Shadow, and then a tear hits Rouge in the face and she's like, damn. I was like, yo, this is good. This is good. Shadow Generations was amazing. My only problem, and this was the sad part, spoilers are over, by the way. This was the sad part for me with the game. I replayed Sonic Generations and I didn't think it was as good as when I originally played it. And I think that's because Shadow Generations is right next to it and it's so much better. And that's what made me sad. The way Shadow controls and feels is amazing. The way that Sonic controls and feels is not that great. I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm feeling negatively towards a game I really like. Excuse me. But yeah, really good game. One of my favorites I played this year, Sonic Crash Shadow Generations. Super fun. I didn't even see what you said. A, FF7 is my favorite work of fiction ever, and B, it's what I've wanted from my... Dude, you and me, Nick, you and me. I have the same exact feelings. No, it fucking sucks that they actually cooked. So true, dude. That was so funny to read. Bro, I'm playing around with the playback speed and making myself laugh. Okay, man. I actually can't believe how sad they went for it. Right? It's legit good. I was like, wow, dude. It reminds me of like the balls that they had to like tell the kind of like oddly serious stories with Sonic back in the day. Like, just embrace it, man. Embrace how stupid like it is. And then when you embrace it, it's just godlike. It's just good. Where's Sivler? It's no use. Yeah, dude. But we need a silver game. We need Sonic cross Shadow cross Silver Generations, the orgasm. Like, or the what is it called when you have sex with multiple people? That's what we need, bro. Get Silver his redemption. I would love that. But yeah, Sonic 06, dude. They'll call us crazy, but do it. Do it, bro. Bring the 06 back. Legit fucking do it. I will. Oh, I'll pre-order. I'll pre-order, bro. I'll do it. Okay. Orgy, yeah. Sonic Cross Shadow Cross Silver, the orgy. The orgy of generations. It has Tails in the background filming. Blaze the cat is like, Silver, why'd you leave? Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. Next game that I played. This is another one. Okay, I'm gonna be real. This next straight, honestly, every game I played this year besides Dragon Quest II was a fucking banger. But like, these are all games I had not played before. Everything from here on out. These 5 that I have no experience with, and these are all bangers. Starting with web fishing, bro. If you know one thing about me, my favorite thing in all of video games. And if I was ever going to attack Rebirth for one thing, it's that it doesn't have web fishing. We need fishing in every game known to man. And what is web fishing? It's what it is. It's fishing on the web. All you do is you make a little Animal Crossing character and you just start fishing. Let me tell you, I have let me see. I have 83.3 hours on web fishing. I literally played this game for almost 100 hours. And you know how I played it? I hit play, I opened my editing software, Adobe Premiere, and I have it on my other fucking monitor, and I just listen to the sweet sounds of fish while I work. It was the most pleasant months I've had. Now, I've already completed everything in the game, unfortunately, because I've like 83 hours in the game. So there's nothing else for me to do in it. I hope it gets more updates and more stuff to do. But like, wow, just wow. I spent way too much time sitting there fishing, completing my compendium. I could go on. I could play that game honestly more. This thing I have right here. I'll go ahead and open it. Did it just okay? There we go. I literally downloaded a mod manager for fucking web fishing just to add more fish into the game. I absolutely loved it. The only reason I didn't keep playing after I got the mod was because it doesn't save your progress, which made me sad. But yeah, I would customize my animal. I would make myself look like how do I describe myself? I made myself look like an old dad that does nothing but ignore his family, beat his wife and children, and then leave the house and go fish with beer next to him. That was how I dressed my character, and I fucking loved every second of it. I would never do any of that, by the way. I just think it looks really funny. So that was how I dressed my character, and it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. I had one more thing I wanted to say. They have a lot, not a lot, they have a couple secrets that the developer put in that were really fun to find, which I really love. I wish more games had just like random bullshit secrets. I spent a lot of time doing that. I think there were like 2 or 3 that I got. Just a fucking happy game. It makes me so happy. It made me really want, as weird as this sounds, I didn't really, okay, the Nintendo Switch is like one of, if not my favorite console ever. But I didn't really like get excited or feel excited about the idea of a Switch 2 until I beat web fishing, because I was like, man, I miss Animal Crossing, but I don't want to play New Horizons. I want a new Animal Crossing, and obviously that'd be on a Switch 2. Can you watch first 10 seconds of what I sent you in Discord, bro? It's killing me. Okay, 1 second. I can't pull it up on the computer that you guys see. Dun, dun. Okay, let me see this. Hold on. I need to let my partner know something. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I definitely did not just rip a fart while I was muted. I definitely did not just do that. One second. All right. What was I saying? Oh, I was gonna check the thing you sent me. No way I sound like that. No way I sound like that. That's disturbing. That's disturbing. I never want to hear that again. Why'd you just bomb your dog and partner? I would never do that. What do you mean? I literally said I did not do that. What are you talking about? Okay. The next game. This is the one that I think might surprise some people. Emio is the best story of this year. It's not even close. Like I said, Rebirth is not a complete story. Okay. Reload is the same story as before. Emio came out this year. It's a brand new fucking game, and it blew my fucking mind. I can't even begin to like explain to you because I don't want to spoil you. But like nobody bought this fucking game, and I wasn't even gonna buy the game. I'll be real. I had no interest in getting the game, and my partner. That's right, August Rain, Evelyn herself was like, do you wanna get Emio? And I was like, surprised goldfish face. Yeah. I was like, sure, I guess. From minute one, this game had my balls gripped. All right. I will tell you, it is a visual novel. So if you don't like visual novels, okay, it's a visual novel, but it has like a little bit of gameplay to it, but it's mostly a visual novel. Is it horror? Not really. I would say it's more like psychological horror. Like it's not like actively trying to scare you. It's more like or thriller, maybe psychological thriller. I'm not sure. Lost me a visual novel. I can't blame you. That's the one thing. I can't blame people for not wanting to play it because it's a visual novel. But like, bro, if we're talking straight narrative, I cannot lie to you, man. It just doesn't. Nothing comes close. I don't want to spoil the story in case anyone wants to play it or if anyone wants to watch it. I absolutely loved figuring out what's going on. I absolutely loved figuring out what's happening, and the twist at the end of the game, nothing comes close. That I played this year, nothing comes close. The end twist blew my mind. I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it. Bro, I don't know. It's hard to talk about because there's not much to say in terms of gameplay. You're basically just, you click to go to like different areas, and then you click to talk to people and remember what they say, and then, you know, say things to them, that kind of thing. It's very simple. It really is just the story. And again, I don't want to spoil, so I guess I can't say much on it after all. All I can say is that it's the best narrative that I played this year. And again, I don't think anything came close. It's that good. It's really, really incredible. I was a visual novel. Okay, that's true too. That's the funny thing is my partner hates visual novels. Like, I'm talking for years, bro. They're gonna hate me for saying this, but like, you know how there's people like that guy that hopped in my chat that was like, when is bro gonna stop yapping and talk about GTA 6? That would be my partner about visual. Not actually, I'm joking. My partner would not go that hard, but my partner was genuinely like, I could never play. He's so mean. Would never play a visual novel. It's so boring. Like, there's nothing. You're just fucking clicking. Like, this isn't a game or whatever. All that kind of stuff. And then this year, they went through and played a lot of visual novels, and it's funny because now I think they prefer visual novels over like actual games. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak on their behalf, but the way that I saw them get hella into visual novels was like wild to me. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I've always liked visual novels, but I'm not like a big proprietor of the genre or anything. It's a book you're reading. Yeah, pretty much. I think there are some that are more than that, like Danganronpa or Ace Attorney or something like that. I haven't played Ace Attorney, but it looks like Danganronpa. But Emio is definitely closer to like, it's not all the way like a Danganronpa, but it's closer to a Danganronpa than like a straight visual novel. Their peak, agreed. Now, again, I can't really talk about these two games, AI1 and AI2. These games I was actually originally going to stream, but I didn't end up streaming them. It's been years. My partner actually played them, and I watched them go through the whole game. These both are also visual novels, and these are written by the guy who wrote 999 and co-developed with the guy who made Danganronpa, from what I understand. I also, now these did not come out this year, so I can't say they're up for best narrative, but if I could, I would say these three. These games had giga good stories and amazing characters, really fun characters. I love, actually, funnily enough, the main character, this guy, voices Moore in Metaphor, which Greg Chun is the actor's name. So when I heard him in Metaphor, I was like, what the fuck? That's the guy from AI. Absolutely love both these games. I can't say much because, again, they're very, very visual novel heavy, not like a crazy amount of gameplay. Like, there's puzzle solving and stuff like that. But the twists in these games, bro. Okay. I have to share this memory, so I have it so that I can like write about it in the future in a video. I was watching my partner finish, or like they were going through AI, and I did AI1, and I didn't think they would finish it. This happened 2 times because it happened with AI2 as well. I was going to bed, I was watching them play, and they were like, I'm gonna stop after this. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to sleep then. And then I wake up, I look to my side. My eyes are like, they're adjusting. I look over, my partner is staring at me through under a cover. Her eyes, bloodshot red. The undersides of her eyes, crust. Her fucking lips, dry, crusted, about to rip into shreds. And I'm like, what the hell happened? What comes out of her mouth? I finished AI the Somnium Files. I was like, what? Like, for one, I was like, you stayed up and finished the game without me? And then 2, I can't believe they were gripped by a narrative that hard that they stayed up all night. I know that's gonna sound like, you know, bizarre to say because we all have moments like that, but listen, I've lived with my partner for years, and I have never seen them do this unless it's like smut. I never see them do this. So I got mind blown. Can I get a mild premise of the game? Do they have a synopsis in here? Play as Detective Kaname Date on the case of an elusive serial killer in this thrilling sci-fi murder mystery. August, is that a good enough summary, you think? That said like nothing. Can't expose them like that? Okay, you act like we don't do that. What are you saying? Based, August is getting exposed? Sorry, I do it too. What the fuck? Also, by the way, I don't even know what smut means. I just think that word is really funny. I'm just gonna be honest. Smut. Like, what the fuck? That's such a funny ass word. Okay. AI 1 and 2 out of the way. Godlike games. Absolutely 100% recommend them. They go on sale a lot and they go for like pretty cheap. Go check them out. Really good games. The last game that I finished this year, and probably will be the last game I finish this year, unless I finish Dragon Quest 3 Remake before the end. Let me take a drink. Is Metaphor ReFantazio. Metaphor ReFantazio was incredible. Incredible. It was so good. I will say, I definitely had my moments playing through it where like if I had to put it on a barometer, right? It's like, this game is great. This game is great. This game is great. Whoa. That's basically how I could like quickly describe. No spoilers. I couldn't watch it because I put on pause. I'm not talking spoilers. I'm not talking spoilers for any of these games. I really loved Metaphor. I was looking for the this game, you know, started off great for me. Got a little weird towards the middle, and then I ended up loving it by the end. The Leave Me in My Pork Addiction B. Hey chat, you know what would be really sweet if somebody donated enough for me to get a McRib at McDonald's right now so I can try that pork sandwich. I'm joking. Don't do that. What do you call it? What was I saying? Yeah, Metaphor. Gameplay. Metaphor's gameplay is so peak. I have to replay FF10 to know 100% for sure, but FF10's gameplay, or FF10, Metaphor ReFantasio's gameplay might be the best turn-based gameplay system I have ever played in my entire life. It's that good. The job system until the end game is also one of, if not the best job systems I've ever played in any game in my life. What they did with Metaphor, Atlas, they took every element of every game that they've ever developed. Thank you. I appreciate them. Thank you for the $20, Alex. I appreciate it. I'm gonna break my ear, so I'm gonna take my headphones off. I also need to update my emotes. Holy fuck, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $20. What was I gonna say? Games like Etrian Odyssey, games like Digital Devil Saga, games like Shin Megami Tensei, games like Persona, all of these, they mesh together and like a bowl of soup. Sorry, I hit my mic. And out comes this beautiful fucking game, Metaphor ReFantasio. Definitely my favorite visuals I've ever seen in a game. Like, obviously, you know, the like SMT5 and Persona 3 look better, like objectively, but the art that comes through with Metaphor is like to die for, man. Seeing Soejima, the artist at Studio Zero, be able to do the stuff that he did with Metaphor blew my mind, man. It was like I got to see an artist unleashed, you know, because I'm friends with quite a few artists, right? And one of the main things I hear from artists, and I hear it, I get it too as like a content creator in terms of like making content, is when you have to make art look a specific way to like get noticed. You know, like, let's say, for example, a lot of people pay a lot of attention to like the Genshin Impact art style, right? People love that. Something like Metaphor, that doesn't really look like a lot of what you see online nowadays. And what do you call it? Allowing Soejima to do that was like heaven sent for me. I would love to get an art book for this game because the art, man, I don't have it on me right now, but the collector's edition, the box art of the collector's edition, it's way better than this. It's like, it looks like a fucking book, bro. It's Metaphor. Every screenshot in Metaphor could be in a museum. Like, the art is unbelievable. It's through the fucking roof. Easily the most creative art. Well, okay. Maybe not the most creative art. I've seen some claymation games, and also Fantasian, which came out yesterday, I think is really, really unique in terms of like creative visuals. If not the best, it's one of the best of this year in terms of creativity in its visuals. It's so beautiful. It looks really, really cool. And I love it. Again, the gameplay. I love that they mixed Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Final fucking Fantasy into one. They took all of these games and put them together. You have the ability to go into the front row, the ability to go into the back row. You have your archetypes, which function effectively as personas, while also effectively as your jobs, like from Final Fantasy. You can mix and match all of them. The creativity is unbelievable. Compare that to FF7 Rebirth, which again, I know everyone thinks that I'm hardcore in the Rebirth train. This is something I talked about yesterday during my Rebirth stream. I don't know which is the best RPG this year, because for a long time, my definitive answer was actually Metaphor ReFantazio, best RPG, because of how creative and how crazy you can get with its job system throughout the entire game. However, by end game, that's where the problems really start to show. I'm gonna take a drink here. Excuse me. There's ice in my water. It's a furry game. Yes, actually, it is. There's like there's a bunch of, you'd probably like, I just know you would love this character. Give me a second. I'll DM it to you because it's kind of annoying to do this on stream. Hold on. I know you would love that character. Her name is Fabienne, if you're curious. What was I gonna say? Okay, I was gonna talk about the end game. Luis is undoubtedly my favorite character. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Everything about the game, the MC speaks. I actually have quite a bit to say about that as well. Okay. The end of this game is peak. It is peak. However, as I was loving the variety in its gameplay up until the ending, because one of my good friends, Bachu, who's not here right now, pointed this out to me. And when I realized it, I was like, shit, you're right. He did not like the end game. Now, I don't agree with him. I like the end game. But he didn't like it because effectively, there's no point in having your weird mishmashed class of, like, you know, whatever. Because by the end game, there is a class for each character that is like the class. You know what I mean? What was her name? I got you. And because of that, when I put it into perspective and really think about it, it does end up becoming limiting. A lot of your plans or ideas of how you wanted to execute the game, or like your game plan, kind of get thrown away. Yeah, it's like an ultimate class. And I really felt that in my, are there spoilers if I search? No, she's like a minor character. You don't gotta worry. She's literally just like, she's like a bartender. There's like there's nothing really to the character. So you're good. I was literally in your stream sipping her. I know. But yeah, so like, this is where I'm saying, like, I don't even know what I would pick for best RPG of the year between these two. We'll get to it when we get to it, but I'll talk about it a little bit here, right? In Rebirth, the game gradually opens up to variety. And then by end game, you have insane variety. But you're at end game and there's not that much, well, okay, they actually give you a lot to fight, to be fair. So I don't know how much that holds up. I don't know, we'll get to it. And then with Metaphor, it's like, it closes in. And sure, you could go ahead and go for the other stuff while you're fighting endgame bosses, but you are gimping yourself quite a bit compared to just using this ultimate class. And I think that's what splits me, because it's like, okay, I love the end game in Rebirth. I love the end game in Metaphor. So which RPG experience did I like more? Because here's the thing, even though I'm saying that theoretically, you know, or not theoretically, it's just facts, how it works, the game kind of locks, or not locks you, but like pushes you to have each character in a certain class, I still enjoyed it. I loved playing those classes. I loved having my characters in their roles. I thought it was super fun. But I can't deny that that removed a lot of the variety for me. And Where I really felt that was with Heizme. And here's where it mainly is for me when I'm pointing this out. All my other characters, I was generally going in that direction anyway, except the protagonist. But with Heizme, I never spec'd into Sniper, I never spec'd into Gunner or Dragoon, I never bothered with it. I never spec'd into Merchant. Oh. Hold on, let me check something. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Is by far by the far end game to say it kills it is a lot. I agree with you. I like, you know, let me get my word out because I like it. I like it. To preface, I'm not shitting on it because I like it. What I didn't like was I wanted my Heizme to be what do you call it? You know, I wanted him to be a healer dodge tank, right? And that to me was like, I didn't know that the ultimate classes exist when I was playing. So I was like, okay, assassin or whatever it was called is the final where I want my Heizme to be. To be a complete dodge tank that can heal. Then I find out about the ultimate class, which is essentially an assassin. And I was like, ooh, I have to get that so I can complete my build. Then I realized it requires me to spec into 2 jobs I never bothered with because I didn't want to use them on my Heizme. So it created this very lengthy period of time where I had to go back and basically build. Now it was fun, don't get me wrong. It was fun to grind up. I enjoyed grinding in the game. But I can't deny that I wish I didn't have to go through that. I will always say, to me, the best RPGs are ones where you don't have to grind and it's perfectly, like, you know, just steady throughout the game. I shouldn't have to like go up, stop for a bit, and then I can go back up and keep doing it. Excuse me. So in terms of creativity, I'm like, okay, I have this plan that I want to do with Heizme. I'm excited to do this. I'm ready to do this. Oof, I hit a roadblock. I have to back up and redo all my plans again, just to like be able to do my initial plan, which had nothing to do with all this other stuff that I didn't even want to bother with. And that, I like, again, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it either. It was like, sure, I enjoyed grinding and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think you shouldn't have to do that, or I shouldn't have had to do that to complete the class that I want to do, you know, or the, you know, the idea that I want in my head. At the same time, that doesn't take away from all the other hours of gameplay variety that I loved and enjoyed every second of throughout Metaphor, you know? And Metaphor's endgame is nowhere near as expansive as Rebirth's. And I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that because you reach your ultimate class and like there's maybe 2 bosses, 3 bosses at max that you get to fight with your ultimate class. So, and that's not, again, I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that because by the time you reach this point of the game, there's not much to, like, there's not much really for you to fuck around with creatively anyway. So it's like you've already done all of your creative bullshit for like 100 hours. So it's not like this one moment invalidates all those 100 hours you just did. You know what I mean? Rebirth for me all the way. I just wanted to keep playing after 130 hours. I see. I also feel the way about Metaphor. When I got into the middle point of Metaphor, narratively, I was really struggling. I was not enjoying it. I'll be straight. I did not really like. Okay, I liked the narrative, but I didn't like what they were doing with some of the characters. Now, I talked about this during my playthrough, but I'm not going to talk about specifics here because I don't want to talk spoilers. But there is a character that I really disliked how they were being portrayed and how they were speaking of other characters, and then I didn't like how the party reacted, or I should say didn't react to certain things that another character was saying. It felt extremely tone deaf to me, and I didn't like that at all. And then there's another scene where a character who just went through one of the most gruesome things in their lives, and then somehow, despite seeing all of that happen to them, they just didn't realize somehow how something worked, even though it had to play into this thing that happened in their lives. That to me was way too unbelievable, to the point where like I couldn't ignore it. And remember, I'm more of a character focused guy over a story guy. So or like, I guess, overall plot narrative. So yes, I do think Metaphor's plot is great. I think they handled the narrative really well. But I don't love the characters. I loved Heismay. Heismay is fucking goated as shit. Love that character. Yuffie is awesome. Sorry, I completely forgot. I was thinking of main party members. How could I forget fucking Luis, man? Luis is Atlas's Sephiroth. Straight up. They did it. They finally have a villain that I can put up on a pedestal and be like, this guy's the fucking goat. It's Luis. Luis is fucking goated as shit. He's awesome. Gallica? No, you're spinning with that. You're spinning with that. Gallica is legit amazing. Bro, for years, I did not think Atlas can make a good, like, mascot character, or whatever you would call them. Navigator. Not navigator, because, like, you know, Futaba's a navigator and I actually like her. So I guess mascot is it. Morgana, like, Morgana's fine, I guess. And then you have, like, Teddy. Teddy's annoying. He's funny sometimes, but he's annoying as shit. Koromaru's awesome, but that's because he's a dog and dogs are awesome. And then you get to Gallica, and Gallica's actually like a genuinely interesting and cool character. Like, Gallica surprised me a lot. So yeah, Gallica's cool. Strahl is cool. I don't love Strahl though. And this might be controversial, but Strahl for me is, he's like, that sounds really dismissive of him. I don't think that lowly of him. Or it sounds lowly, but it's really not. You know how Atlas always makes a bro character that's like awesome? You know what I mean? Like Junpei or Ryuji, you know, something like that. That's what Strahl is. And he I'm sorry I keep looking this way. My chat's this way. I should be looking at my camera. I would say main companion. Yeah. That's pretty much what Strahl is. He's like that. And he's great at that. And his story is good. I don't have any problems with Strahl. He's awesome. But like, I don't like love him or anything. He's just that, you know, he very much fits into that mold. He does what that character or like archetype is supposed to do. And that's fine. I think the only characters that really, really like super stand out to me it's just Heismay, really, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I feel so bad about that. I completely forgot about Basilio. Holy fuck. Basilio, the Magnus brothers, both of them, Fidelio and Basilio, are top. The Magnus brothers and Heismay are like some of the best characters that Atlas has ever made. They are incredible. Luis, again, he is like Atlas's Sephiroth to me. Del is crazy. He is. Fidelio is fucking awesome. But it's the rest of the party where I don't have strong feelings about. You know, like Strahl is just, yeah, that's the cool bro on the team. Yuffie, I actually like Yuffie quite a bit, but I don't like love her either. She kind of, I don't know how to explain it. She's awesome. I like her. If the game had romance, I would romance Yuffie. She's awesome. And then Hulkenberg. I came to not mind her by the end of the game, but I've got issues with her. I completely forgot about Juna. Juna's fine. She's fine. I don't like love her or hate her. She's just fine to me. She's okay. Yeah, Juna's all right. She's decent. Oh, protagonist. I love that they had it so the protagonist can speak now, but it still doesn't feel like a character. That was kind of my problem with it. I was really excited when I heard them speak, and then I was like kind of disappointed, especially later on in the game, where I'm like, I feel like they should be talking more. Excuse me. Like a lot more. Yeah, what Alex just said. It feels like they gave a lot of the lines that the protagonist should say to Strahl, which felt very weird in a lot of scenes where like I'm expecting the protagonist to like speak up about a situation or react to a situation, and he doesn't really react to anything. He's just kind of like white bread. It's not offensive, but it's not like cool either. I love his design. He looks awesome. Like I love him. I think he's great. But like, it's not really I mean, he is a protagonist, but like he's not really much of a character. True, they very much put the protag on sidelines at times to watch the party and Strahl as they take the lead. Yeah, exactly. It really did feel like a lot of the time Strahl was kind of leading the team, where I felt like it's supposed to be me, but it never really truly felt like that. Needless to say, I do still really like the cast. They're great. The story is awesome. I really enjoy the narrative. By the end of it, I was very satisfied. I just peak. Atlas, you guys knocked it out of the park with Metaphor. But yeah, that's every game I played in 2024. I'll probably do a video like I did last year rating everything I played in 2024. But now we get to the nominations.